Did you know your brain is the real reason you can't sleep well? If you wake up at night, especially around 3 a.m., and your mind feels suddenly alert, this is not insomnia and it is not a personal failure. Sleep science explains that the brain can shift into a state of alert during the night, even when the body is physically tired and ready to rest. This alert response often feels confusing, frustrating, and out of your control, but it is a real biological signal coming from inside the brain. During healthy sleep, the brain and nervous system follow a predictable rhythm. Melatonin helps the body stay asleep while cortisol remains low and quiet. When this balance is disrupted, the brain may briefly switch into protection mode. That switch can happen in the early morning hours without any real danger present. You may wake up at night feeling awake, tense, or mentally active. This pattern creates light, fragmented, non-restorative sleep over time, and it can happen to people of any age or background. This experience has a hidden reason that most people are never told about. It is not caused by weakness, lack of discipline, or something you did wrong. Something real is happening inside your brain while you are asleep. Studies show this alert response is one of the most common sleep changes today. Understanding what is happening is the first step toward feeling relief, because once the brain is understood, it can be supported correctly, and that leads directly to what sleep science reveals next about the brain at night. I'm Dr. Sarah, a sleep medicine specialist with a background in psychiatry. For years, I have worked closely with people struggling to sleep through the night. Many of them fall asleep without difficulty at the beginning of the night, but later they wake up at night and feel wide awake without warning. Their body feels exhausted, yet their brain feels alert and active. This experience often leaves them confused and worried about their sleep, and they wonder why rest suddenly feels so hard to maintain. Over time, I began noticing the same pattern repeating again and again. People would describe waking up around the same hours each night, often around 3 a.m. with racing thoughts or a sense of alertness. They tried changing habits, reducing stress, or going to bed earlier, yet the nighttime awakenings continued no matter how tired they felt. This showed that something deeper was happening during sleep itself, something connected directly to how the brain behaves at night. Experts in sleep health explain that this is not about willpower or discipline. It is not a lack of effort or the result of doing something wrong. The brain and nervous system follow powerful biological patterns during sleep. When those patterns shift, awakenings can happen automatically. This response occurs even when someone desperately wants to stay asleep. Understanding this removes a great deal of unnecessary self-blame, and it replaces confusion with calm, science-based clarity. Sleep science shows that the brain's main job is protection. At night, it continues monitoring internal and external signals. If the brain senses imbalance, it may activate alert systems briefly. This can interrupt deep sleep without conscious control. Hormones like melatonin and cortisol play a major role in this process. When they fall out of rhythm, the brain may respond too early. This response often feels sudden, intense, and difficult to stop. What matters most is knowing this pattern is common and explainable. Doctors see it across different ages, lifestyles, and stress levels. It does not mean something is broken or permanently wrong. It means the brain is reacting based on the signals it is receiving. Once those signals are understood, they can be adjusted gently. This is where real confidence begins to replace fear, because science gives us a clear framework for what is happening. And when we look closer at this framework, a key insight appears. The issue is not the ability to fall asleep at the start of the night. The real challenge happens later, when the brain tries to stay asleep. This distinction changes everything about how sleep problems are understood. It shifts the focus away from effort and toward biology, and it opens the door to a deeper explanation sleep science reveals next. What most people don't realize is a very important shift in perspective. The issue usually does not begin when you first go to bed. Many people fall asleep quickly and without much effort. Their body relaxes, breathing slows, and sleep starts normally. This makes the problem confusing and often misunderstood, because if you can fall asleep, insomnia doesn't seem to fit, yet the struggle appears later, in the middle of the night. The real reason you can't sleep well is not that you can't fall asleep at all. It's that your brain has difficulty remaining asleep for the full night. Sleep science explains that staying asleep requires ongoing brain stability. The nervous system must stay calm and regulated for many hours. Melatonin needs to stay stable while cortisol remains low and quiet. When this balance shifts, the brain may exit sleep too early, and this happens without conscious choice or control. Studies show that nighttime awakenings often come from an overactive brain. This overactivity is not caused by laziness or lack of discipline. It is not simply the result of bad habits or daily stress alone. Instead, it reflects how the brain processes safety during sleep. When internal signals feel unpredictable, the brain becomes alert. This alertness can appear suddenly, even in a quiet room, and it can feel impossible to turn off once it begins. This is why blaming yourself only adds more tension. Sleep science makes it clear that this is not your fault. Your brain is not broken, and you are not doing something wrong. It is responding automatically to hormonal and nervous system signals. These signals are shaped by circadian rhythm, cortisol, and melatonin. When they fall out of alignment, nighttime awakenings become more likely. Understanding this alone often brings immediate emotional relief. Once this inversion is clear, the entire problem looks different. The goal is no longer to force sleep or try harder. Instead, the focus becomes helping the brain stay calm at night. Experts in sleep health explain that safety signals matter most. When the brain feels safe, it naturally remains asleep longer. This approach works with the body, not against it, and it removes the pressure many people feel around sleep. But this raises an important question that sleep science answers next. Why does the brain become alert at the same time each night? Why do awakenings often happen in the early morning hours? The answer involves hormones, circadian rhythm, and survival wiring. There is a specific biological response behind this pattern. It has a clear explanation and a clear name, and understanding it changes how nighttime awakenings are viewed. During healthy sleep, the brain follows a natural and predictable rhythm. This rhythm is guided by the circadian clock inside the brain. As night progresses, melatonin stays stable to support deep sleep, while cortisol remains low and quiet. The nervous system stays calm, allowing the body to fully rest. This balance helps the brain remain asleep without interruption, and it creates the feeling of restorative, refreshing sleep. When this rhythm is stable, the brain feels safe during the night. There's no need to scan for threats or activate alert systems. Breathing stays slow, muscles remain relaxed, and thoughts are minimal. The brain moves smoothly through deep and lighter sleep cycles. Each cycle builds on the previous one without disruption. This is how the body and mind recover overnight. And this process depends entirely on internal balance. But when sleep fragments, this balance begins to shift. Melatonin may drop too early or lose its stability. Cortisol may begin to rise before morning arrives. The nervous system can move out of calm mode. These changes are subtle but powerful inside the brain. They often happen without conscious awareness, and they tend to appear in the early morning hours. Sleep science explains that during this shift, the brain may misinterpret signals. Even in a quiet, dark bedroom, the brain can sense unsafe. This does not mean real danger is present. It means internal rhythms are no longer aligned. The brain responds by increasing alertness as a precaution. This response is automatic and deeply biological. It is part of the brain's protective design. When this alertness turns on, staying asleep becomes difficult. The mind may feel suddenly active or watchful. The body may feel tired, but the brain feels awake. This mismatch creates frustration and worry for many people. They often believe something external caused the awakening, but the source is internal and hormonal. And understanding this changes how the problem is approached. Because once the brain is seen as responding to imbalance, not danger, a clearer explanation begins to form. Sleep science identifies a specific response tied to these early awakenings. It is closely linked to cortisol timing and nervous system activation. This response explains why wake-ups feel sudden and intense, and why they often happen around the same time each night. That response is what we need to look at next. This pattern has a name in sleep science. Experts refer to it as the 3 a.m. brain survival response. It is not a disorder, and it is not a malfunction. It is a built-in biological response designed to protect you. The brain is constantly monitoring internal signals, even during sleep. When those signals feel unstable, alert systems may activate. This often happens in the early morning hours. During the 3 a.m. brain survival response, the brain briefly switches modes. Heart rate may increase without obvious reason. Cortisol can rise earlier than it should. The nervous system shifts out of calm, restorative mode. The mind becomes more active and aware of the environment. This happens quickly and without conscious decision. It is an automatic survival response. When this response activates, the experience feels very specific. You wake up suddenly, often feeling alert or restless. Your body still feels tired and heavy, but your brain feels awake and unwilling to shut back down. This mismatch creates frustration and worry for many people. They often try to force sleep to return, but the brain is still in protection mode. It is important to understand that this response is common. Sleep science shows it occurs in people of all ages. It is not a sign of weakness or poor sleep habits. It is a biological reaction to internal imbalance. And most importantly, it is not permanent. The brain can shift out of this mode again. It simply needs the right signals. Knowing this creates a sense of safety. You are not in danger when this happens. Your body is not failing you. Your brain is trying to protect you the only way it knows. This response developed to keep humans alert when needed. In modern life, it sometimes activates at the wrong time, but it can be gently retrained. Once this mechanism is understood, fear begins to fade. The experience becomes explainable instead of mysterious. Sleep science shows that the brain responds to consistent support. When the nervous system calms, alert signals decrease. This is where real progress begins, because the next step is learning how the brain receives those signals and what helps it feel safe enough to stay asleep. Imagine your brain as a night security system. Its main job is to keep you safe while you sleep. When everything feels calm and predictable, it stays quiet. The lights stay off and the system remains in rest mode. Your nervous system stays relaxed throughout the night. Melatonin continues supporting deep, stable sleep, and the brain allows the body to fully rest. When the brain feels safe, it does not interfere with sleep. It trusts the environment and internal signals it is receiving. Cortisol remains low and does not interrupt the night. The circadian rhythm stays aligned with darkness and rest. The brain moves smoothly through sleep cycles. There is no need to check for danger. Sleep continues without effort. But when the brain senses something unpredictable, it reacts. This reaction does not require real external danger. It can be triggered by internal imbalance alone. The security system turns on the lights automatically. Alert systems activate even when nothing is actually wrong. This is how the brain is designed to protect you, and it does so without asking permission. When this reaction activates, sleep becomes lighter and more fragile. The body may still be exhausted and ready for rest, but the brain remains watchful and alert. This creates the feeling of waking up for no clear reason. Many people assume something is broken, but sleep science shows this is not the case. It is a protective response, not a failure. Sleep changes do not mean your brain is damaged. They do not mean you are losing the ability to sleep. They simply mean the brain is stuck in protection mode. This mode can override natural sleep rhythms, but it can also be gently turned off. The brain responds to signals of safety and consistency, and those signals can be restored. Once this visualization makes sense, the experience feels less frightening. Nighttime awakenings become easier to understand. The focus shifts from fear to support. Instead of fighting the brain, you begin working with it. This opens the door to practical, calming strategies that help the brain feel safe again at night. And that leads directly to what fragmented sleep causes over time. When this pattern repeats night after night, the effects begin to add up. Sleep becomes lighter and more fragile over time. The brain struggles to stay in deeper sleep stages. Small disturbances can trigger awakenings more easily. You may wake up multiple times during the night. Each awakening interrupts the brain's natural recovery process, and rest starts to feel incomplete. Many people notice they wake up feeling tired in the morning, even after spending enough hours in bed. The body feels heavy and energy feels low. Mental fog can appear early in the day. Focus and concentration become harder to maintain. Simple tasks may require more effort than before. This creates frustration and concern. There is often a persistent feeling of never truly resting. Sleep no longer feels refreshing or restorative. Even naps may not bring relief. The brain feels like it never fully shuts down. This experience can affect mood and motivation, yet many people keep pushing through it silently, believing this is something they must accept. Sleep science explains that these effects are not personal failures. They are not signs of weakness or lack of effort. They happen because the brain has not received the right signals at night. Without those signals, the nervous system stays slightly alert. Melatonin cannot fully stabilize sleep depth. Cortisol may rise too early in the morning, and recovery remains incomplete. This is why so many people feel confused by their symptoms. They try to rest more but feel less restored. They blame stress, age, or busy schedules, but the root cause lies deeper in the brain's nighttime behavior. Understanding this brings an important sense of validation. You are not imagining this experience, and you are not alone in it. Empathy matters when talking about sleep struggles because fragmented sleep affects how people feel during the day. It can quietly wear down confidence and emotional balance. Recognizing the biological cause removes unnecessary self-blame, and it creates space for compassion toward yourself. From that place, real change becomes possible, especially when the brain receives the support it needs next. The good news is this: the brain is not fixed in this pattern. Sleep science shows that the brain can relearn safety at night. It is designed to adapt when conditions change. The nervous system can shift back into a calmer state. This shift does not require force or struggle. It happens when the brain receives consistent signals of safety, and those signals can be restored. Studies show that when nighttime signals improve, sleep begins to change. Melatonin can stabilize and support deeper sleep again. Cortisol can return to its natural low levels during the night. The circadian rhythm can realign with darkness and rest. As this balance returns, awakenings often become less frequent, sleep depth gradually improves, and mornings begin to feel different. This process is gentle and biological. It does not depend on willpower or trying harder. It works by reducing unnecessary alert signals in the brain. The nervous system learns it no longer needs to stay watchful. As that learning happens, the brain remains asleep longer. This is how healthy sleep naturally protects itself, and it can happen at any age. This isn't about forcing the body to shut down. Sleep science makes it clear that forcing sleep often backfires. Pressure increases alertness instead of reducing it. What truly helps is supporting the brain's natural rhythms. When the brain feels supported, sleep follows on its own. This approach works with the body, not against it, and it creates lasting change. Experts in sleep health emphasize consistency over intensity. Small, supportive actions repeated nightly matter most. They send predictable signals to the brain. Over time, those signals replace nighttime alert patterns. This is how the brain regains trust in the night, and trust is what allows sleep to deepen, without effort or fear. Once this possibility is understood, hope feels realistic. Sleep problems no longer feel permanent or mysterious. The focus shifts from fixing to supporting, and that shift opens the door to practical solutions designed to help the brain feel safe again at night. This is where understanding turns into action, and that action is what comes next. The solution is not a sleeping pill or a single quick trick. Sleep science shows that forcing sleep rarely creates lasting results. Pills may shut the body down temporarily, but they do not teach the brain to feel safe at night. And when the effect wears off, alert patterns often return. This is why many people feel stuck in a cycle, one that never truly addresses the root cause. Experts in sleep health explain that the most effective approach is different. It focuses on providing simple, consistent nightly support that works with the brain's natural design. The goal is not to override the brain. The goal is to calm the nervous system gently. When the nervous system calms, sleep depth can improve, and awakenings become less likely. This type of support helps stabilize melatonin during the night. It encourages melatonin to remain steady instead of dropping too early. At the same time, it helps prevent early cortisol spikes. Cortisol is meant to rise closer to morning. When it rises too soon, the brain becomes alert. Supporting proper timing reduces that risk, and it protects the continuity of sleep. Another important role of this support is reducing the 3 a.m. brain survival response. By calming internal signals, the brain stays out of protection mode. Alert systems are less likely to activate unnecessarily. This allows the brain to remain asleep longer, not because it is forced, but because it feels safe. This distinction is critical for long-term sleep health, and it aligns with how the brain naturally works. Doctors often emphasize safety and simplicity in sleep support. This approach is doctor-approved and non-habit forming. It is natural and designed to complement healthy sleep routines. It does not interfere with the brain's architecture. Instead, it supports what the brain already knows how to do. Sleep science consistently supports this model because it respects the brain's role in sleep. If you're curious about this kind of support, it is available now. You can find more information in the first pinned comment. There is no pressure and no obligation. This is about understanding what options exist and choosing support that aligns with your biology. Before making any decision, one final perspective matters, and that perspective brings everything together. You are not weak for waking up at night. You are not broken because your sleep feels different now. And this isn't simply just aging or just stress. Sleep science explains that these labels miss what is really happening. Your experience has a biological explanation inside the brain, one that many people are never told about, and understanding it changes how you see yourself. Your brain has been trying to protect you during the night. It has been responding to signals the only way it knows how. When those signals feel unclear, it shifts into alert mode, not to harm you, but to keep you safe. This response happens quietly and automatically, often without your awareness or control, and it does not mean something is wrong with you. When the right signals are present, the brain behaves differently. The nervous system calms instead of scanning for danger. Melatonin can remain stable throughout the night. Cortisol can wait until morning to rise. The circadian rhythm can stay aligned with rest. In that state, the brain no longer needs to interrupt sleep, and staying asleep becomes easier and more natural. If you've been waking up at night and searching for answers, it makes sense to feel confused or discouraged. Many people are told to ignore these wake-ups or to accept them as something unavoidable, but sleep science offers a clearer explanation, one that respects how the brain actually works at night, and one that removes unnecessary blame. This perspective allows you to approach sleep differently, with curiosity instead of fear, with support instead of pressure. Instead of fighting your brain, you begin listening to it. That shift alone can change how nights feel, because the brain responds to understanding and consistency, not force or frustration. If you've been wondering about the real reason behind your sleep changes, this explanation may finally connect the dots, and it may point toward a safer, more natural way to help, support that works with your brain, not against it. Before making any decisions, it helps to understand one last detail, a detail about how these signals are delivered at night and why timing matters more than most people realize.